closed up on the toe or down on the heel. The club face now is good. Now we're going to get ourselves into the posture. And where the left arm hangs straight down from the shoulder socket, you with me? This is where we grip it on this shot. If we gripped this at the end of the club and then got into the posture correctly, you're going to see the toe of the club is coming up. You see it? Now we get out of the posture to sole the club. Uh-oh. Okay, does everybody watch golf on TV? I bet you've noticed the good players on TV not gripping the club up at the end all the time. This is where we grip it on this shot. Okay? Now let me ask you, a golf course, even here in Florida, never mind if you go back up to, Pennsylvania or somewhere like that, a golf course from the tee to the green, is a golf course flat like this carpet or are there slopes on it? You're kidding. They did that to you too. The only place it's flat on every shot is when we hit a bucket of balls where? The other sport. So you go to the range, they're all the same. Go to the golf course, they're all different. One of the mistakes I used to always make, I didn't know, I'd pull my club out of the bag, walk up to the ball, and where was the left hand going? Every time. At the end of the stick. Uh-oh. Let's go with, how about Phil? Not your career best. Average, sometimes men exaggerate. Did you know this? I asked this in Boise, Idaho. I asked the guy, an average 7-iron, how far will you hit it? He looked me right in the eye, so he's believing himself. He says, oh, Steve, right now I hit my 7-iron around 180.
Sure.
No, you don't. I just videoed you. I watched you swing. There's no 180 there. You hit it once in your life, 180, and Hurricane Katrina went by. And hit the cart path 6 times. Come on. Sometimes the male ego, the curse, adds strokes to the scorecard. It's the 4th hole, it's a par 4, and we walked away with a bogey 5. Approaching the green, we came up about a little short. We'll pretend Sam right here is about where the front of the green is. But when our ball came to rest, it was about here. So we were about 10 feet short of the green, something like that, okay? But the pin, where the hole is somewhere about middle back. Not right in the middle, not in the back, kind of in between. So what we just did right there was we under-clubbed ourselves by 2 clubs. If we hit a 7-iron and our ball finished here, that means we should have hit a 5-iron. We might have got it back up by the hole. All right? So we're going to score the hole 5S. 5 score, S means we're short of the green. On the end of the day, see how many S's you get in your scorecard. For a while, if we're, especially the men, if we're going to miss the green, short or long, which one is a little more preferable? Take a guess. We'll go back. First of all, most of the trouble normally is where? Up in the front is where all the traps. And once in a while, you might have a lake behind the green. If there's a lake behind the green, don't launch it out in the lake and say, Steve told me I'm supposed to hit it out. Average 7-iron, Phil, how far will you hit it? 130. 130. Right now, Phil is 130 to the middle of the green. And right away, his head is telling him 7-iron, 7-iron. Now wait, that's the yardage. That's not the club yet. His golf ball is not in the fairway. It rolls in the rough, but it's sitting up. But it's not a flyer. You know, a flyer goes far. It's not a flyer because the grass isn't growing in the direction of the hole. It's growing either straight up or back. So it's not a flyer. So when he gets up to the ball, Phil steps up to the ball, sitting up. His 2 feet go down to the ground. The ball is not here. The ball's up here. If he grips this at the end of the club, most of the time, his club face is going to catch the grass first, then the ball, and he's 10 yards short of the green again. But Phil's on the trigger, and he figures out now, you know what, this golf ball's up here. If I'm going to hit it clean off this lie with the ball above my feet, I've got to grip the club down to here. When we shorten the stick, what happens to the distance? We lose some distance. So what should he do right away? Put this thing away, grab a 6-iron, 5-iron. Okay? Another one is just real quick. We're about to take a break. Wind. You know, most golfers, recreational golfers, never compensate for the wind enough. To feel the wind down here, the wind is up there, that's where your ball's going. It's usually times 2, you know, than what you're feeling down here, it's more. You know, so, you know, what you might want to do for a while, if you have wind in your face, get the yardage, it doesn't matter where the pin is, get the yardage to the back of the green. And then add 2 clubs. You with me? You might find yourself in the middle of the green. Okay, especially for the men. Okay, now, here's what we're gonna do, guys and gals. We're gonna take about a 10